Here we have Sunday. Okay, Sunday jumpers. All right, I've read your comments. So if we take a look here, I think here we have a decent takeoff point. I feel like the electronic eyes here are much closer to the wings. So they're not sticking out. You know, sometimes you go, there's a lot of space between the two. I'm wondering if that's when the jumping problems happen. Okay, the opening seems good to me. You knocked the bar on number 4, which I didn't even see. Okay, now I see the bar. Let me take a look. Okay, so we need a turn here, which is a little late. Oh, this jump is tight. Once, twice, 3 times. I think this is probably just tight spacing, soft dirt, evidence from this cloud of dust. And it looks like her feet give out a little bit here. She ends up shorting it just a little bit. 1, 2. So again, there's no room for 3 hits. Here's the first hit. Here's the second hit. Wait, once, twice, and then up. So no room for a third. Dirt's nice and soft. The turn is very hard. So I'm not thrilled with that as a course design. You know, I would rather comfortably give big dogs 3 hits or 2 on very straight lines, but not 2 on a turn. Okay, next thing I think was the weaves. This was a front cross. Oh, but the same weave exit problem. I don't think that's a fluke. Unfortunately, now we're seeing it on a second handling maneuver. I'm not sure what's going on there. You definitely want to see if it pops up in practice. And what I would do is early fronts and early blinds to see if you can make it happen in practice. So you can non-reward it. Not punish it, just non-reward it, and then jackpot her when she gets it right. And then just put yourself in a position where you can see it and make her do it again in the trial setting. All right. Okay, and then the last one, off course at the end, you try to decel to get a left turn. Let's take a look. Okay, I see the decel here. And she went straight. Yeah. So I think this is one where as she takes off for this jump here, she's already lined up the next jump. So the failure is already in here. I think on decels, I have 2 feelings about this. You can definitely keep trying to use decel in these spots, in which case I would come to a dead stop, given this is really tight. Like, I'm going to dead stop here. Like, I'm not slowing down, I'm dead stopping. So one is to dead stop instead of dribbling forward with these little steps. If we take a look here, if we look at just your feet, by the time the dog's taking off, which is here, you get 1, 2, 3 steps. Okay, so I don't like having 3 dribbling steps. I like to be stopped. The other thing is you can just take off in this direction before the dog hits the takeoff point, which is about here. Tell the dog over, so the dog has to commit over even as you're going this way, and that usually will turn the dog as well. So it's hard, right? Because I'm telling you, okay, well, you need massive decel, and that'll create the turn. And I don't think she's turning quite right or quite like she should. And then I'm like, well, you should also be able to turn early and still have the dog commit to that jump, which I think is also true. So I would just practice both of those things and see which one's giving you the better response. See if the decels aren't good enough and you have to do the J turns. You may need to go that route. But I think this is a pretty consistent issue. And so we need to problem solve for it. I had someone with whippets that had the same problem. The dog takes off like really far away and very early oftentimes, but doesn't have like early takeoff problems per se. And so in some spots it was very good to have J turns. It suddenly let them turn tight, and then in other spots the good D cells did work, where she'd come to a stop and hold her position better. And other spots where there are not multiple choices, turning early helped, right? So I think those are situations where they're like one's a little bit better than the other, right? J turn for super tight turns, strong decels, stops for like 90-degree turns, and then just early pulls when there's no other off-course obstacles out there. And you need to stay ahead of the dog. You don't want to sacrifice your position by having to do a full decel stop that's going to force you to immediately rear cross on some complex part of the course that comes up next. All right, let me know if that makes sense.